Coming up on this episode of the Village Idiom.
Remember, the words Old Testament, the word old has 3 letters.
No.
Testament has 9 letters.
That's crazy.
So the New Testament, the first word has 3, the second word has 9, and if 3 times 9 is 27.
How am I supposed to still know which one is which?
Exactly.
Village Idiom.
Hello and welcome to the Village Idiom.
We are a podcast that every week chooses a popular saying to take a shallow but hopefully comedic and once in a while even interesting dive into its meaning, its usage, its origins. But we're also going to use it to hang our otherwise directionless conversation on. My name is Jurassic Mark.
And I am the professional Skinny.
It's a good thing you used the word.
It's good. It's a professional podcast.
This is nothing but professionalism.
Yeah. Well, if there's nothing that seems to go wrong with this podcast ever.
No, that's right. And we're using the word professional because of how many times we've said we are ill-prepared today.
Do you remember as a kid? You're
No.
pro?
Yeah.
Pregnant retarded ostrich?
Yeah, now we can't. Now that's
You would never say that.
No, because it's a slight against women. It's a slight against mentally ill. And it's a slight against ostriches.
Another emu?
Flightless birds.
There's just things that we were just terrible back in the day.
Yeah.
You just would never say them now.
We were just, in the height of right now of cancel culture that we're in and political correctness. And it's crazy world. Some for very good end
Let's
results.
just believe we won't get canceled for any foolish thing we've ever said.
I noticed you tapped twice.
Yeah, it's laminate.
You know the old saying.
Tap twice on laminate brings good luck. You know.
Maybe this will get us started.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, knock on wood.
Knock on wood, knock on wood, knock on wood. Now look, Brian, there's a difference between...
I think you'll be pretty impressed, knock on wood.
Just keeps on going.
That sounds like Kenny Loggins at the end there.
I don't actually know. That was a snippet from American Dad. Song from American Dad, so it could have been.
Knock on wood. Just believing that everything is just nothing bad's gonna happen.
Well, the reason I pointed out, we're going to get into origins in a second, but you tapped twice, and I'm not a very superstitious person, so I can't honestly say I've ever knocked on wood. I don't think I've ever gone knock on wood, but in my head, it's 3. Knock on wood, like you echo.
No, I think the third one is like you're looking for entrance to the wood at the third knock. 2 is superstition. 3 is like wood, let me in. And there's a predating adage called just touch wood.
Touch wood.
Yeah, so just like touch wood, like something bad doesn't happen. You say you don't say something completely stupid. I've not been in a car wreck, since
Touch wood
for 30 years. Touch wood.
Yeah. Well,
But then people would touch their skull, meaning that their head is made of wood.
oh really?
Yeah, that was the thing.
Oh, if you're
Touch wood.
if you're Pinocchio.
Touch wood. Well, speaking of Pinocchio, now we should, before we get into, I guess we'll wait on Pinocchio because we're gonna need to get into some origins.
Yeah, well, even the number of times you knocked, that we're going to talk about that in the origins as well.
I'm a real boy.
I'm a real boy.
Yeah,
Sounded more like not the gumdrop buttons.
It's probably the same voice thing. So how
stupid are you?
How superstitious are you?
I'm not at all.
Yeah.
I'm the worst. I actually am so lacking in superstition that I grew up in the church, as did you didn't grow up in the church, but we both are very churchy.
Yeah.
Jesus lovers.
Yeah.
And
It's very churchy.
and even some of the things that Christians just do out of part of being a Christian sometimes feels superstitious-y, and I'll kind of back off of it.
Yeah, so Christians love to do this thing before they go on road trips. It was like youth group. Yeah,
Totally.
You gotta
Let's just pray for safety.
Got to pray a hedge. Where's the
A
hedge?
hedge of protection.
Where's that hedge?
Gotta pray. You've heard
God's
Tim
throwing
Hawkins talk about that?
Throwing up hedges.
Have you heard Tim Hawkins is
Probably.
comedian.
Don't think so.
I think predominantly Christian circle comedian. And he does a whole thing about, so if you're listening and you're not a churchgoer, there's a common phrase. You're going to pray a hedge of protection around you. And he goes off on this whole tangent about nothing can keep out the devil like shrubbery.
A good old hedge. Why don't we build like a concrete wall of protection?
Exactly.
Like a hedge.
Some razor wire on top.
Exactly. Something that would like stop, like if there was like a military trying to coup your embassy.
Maybe if it's like a holly bush and it's at least prickly.
At least that. Like a real good hedge.
But yeah, we would pray before a trip, or even, I mean, there's reasons. We don't need to go down the religious reasons, but praying before every meal. Like,
Well, there's a part about being thankful and then like superstitious.
yeah, and so people will freak sometimes. Like, oh, we didn't pray. Oh my goodness.
Now this mouthful is poison. Way to go.
So, anyway, I'll walk under an umbrella. I mean, a ladder.
Me too. Me
I'll
too.
open an umbrella indoors. I'll follow a black cat.
Okay, well, this one was, struck me funny. It's superstitious
I'll break
land.
a mirror. I'll step on a crack, man.
My poor mother. You break her back if you do it. The superstition with the spilling of salt.
Right.
And the spill of salt.
I can't remember what that one is. You throw it over your shoulder or
You
something?
throw it over your left shoulder.
Okay.
Which I thought was interesting on the left-right. It has some spiritualness to it because of the kind of figmented adage of the devil sitting on your shoulder. You got that whole
Oh, and he's on the
angel,
left?
devil, yeah, devil, and he sits on your left shoulder. Apparently he doesn't, he speaks
Well,
to
he's
your...
not going to do the right thing.
Speaks to That's so corny. I love it. Yeah, so when you're throwing salt over it, you're kind of throwing salt in the devil's eye.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you're throwing salt over your left
'Cause
shoulder.
salt affects the devil like it does a
He's
slug.
like a slug. Yeah.
Bye, slug. Have you seen that meme?
No.
Bye, slug. Yeah, it's a new one. Actually, it's probably not. I'm just now learning
Just
it.
making it up.
No,
It's that
look it
new.
up. Bye, slug.
By slug. Yeah, so that kind of superstitious stuff. Oh,
So have you ever been?
I think more projected on. I just tend to not believe that aspect of, like, I don't know. I'm not real fatalistic, but if walking under a ladder is enough to like upset your day, then the world is messed up.
I remember the first time I learned about Friday the 13th and what it meant. So I remember we went to this. My parents used to love this.
Take us to the cabin, Friday the 13th.
No, they used to love going. They had this thing for, maybe this was a generational thing. Not that I don't love eating big amounts of food, but you want to go to a smorg? I want to go hit up a smorgasbord.
A smorg.
So they would go through
Like the
phases
Swedish
of
chef
what
from
their-
the Muppet Show?
what their favorite smorg was.
Smorg.
So we would go to the Royal Fork in the States.
That's awesome.
And anyway, they said somebody tripped or dropped a
No
plate.
one does buffet like America.
Totally.
Old country buffet.
Somebody tripped, dropped a plate, something broke, and somebody at the table, my parents said, oh, this is Friday the 13th. And I asked what it was, and they said, oh, people believe Friday the 13th, bad things can happen, bad luck, blah, blah, blah. While we were there, so they had this two-way fridge, so the people in the kitchen would put like
Two-way
large
fridge
salads.
so you can see people from the other side.
Yeah.
But they can't see you.
The kitchen would put
Or
food in.
can they see you?
And the serving people would pull it out on this side. And twice while we were there, person on this side slid the big giant bowl of whatever in as the other person opened it, and it just came flying out. Smash.
Oh, wow.
Friday the 13th. Another one. Smash. Friday the 13th. Somebody else tripped and fell. And I'm like half a dozen things happened on.
Did they throw salt over their
within
shoulder?
Within the hour.
'Cause you can undo it by turning left in a circle 3 times and throwing salt over your shoulder.
Within an hour of being taught what Friday the 13th is, 5-6 bad things happened. So
Well, was it a full moon at least?
I don't know.
Because that's serious.
It was a good smorg. Smorg.
That's the
Anyway,
sound your intestine
So,
makes.
I'm not
as it's
superstitious,
eating.
but that was the first time I started.
Smorg. Smorg.
Smorg. Anyway, no, I'm not superstitious.
Yeah.
I have met people who are over the top in theater. When I did high school theater, there are people.
Like at the
There's
movies.
superstition in theater. That's crazy.
We had the whole break a leg.
Break a leg. I had a drama teacher that wore a medallion. I think we've talked about this. A medallion around his neck on opening night, but not on the second night. And if the opening night got canceled or postponed, then
You
it came
put the
off.
medallion on the floor. You light 5 candles.
It was all like
You summon
is
the
he-
theater.
I think he believes this stuff.
I've seen Phantom of the Opera. I know how this goes.
I'm making fun of people who believe in things, and I'm sure there's people who make fun of what I believe in. So
Sure.
it give and take, but yeah, not superstitious.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the deep the deep history of walking under ladders.
Is
It's
there? I haven't looked into
It's
that.
really a respected thing, on par with the Gospels and Jesus-y stuff.
Oh, yeah. Sure. There's more historical, archaeological, and otherwise provable features that go with a major religion such as Christianity, but don't let a black cat cross your path.
Talking about weird ones before we kind of get into origins, too far off the rabbit trail. I was reading in the...
What if a black cat crossed your rabbit trail?
Wow.
Okay, before you go down the rabbit trail,
Okay.
the black cat one, we're way off topic. We're talking about a single superstitious thing, knock on wood. Now we're all over the map, but the black cat crossing your path, it's not really your path until you've walked it, right? So if he walks in front of you, you could just turn and avoid it. But if he walked after you've walked it, you don't even know.
You're describing Tron.
So if anything bad happens,
It's the life cycles in Tron.
you could say maybe a black cat crossed my path and I just didn't know.
Like with a
I
cat
feel like you're
crossing your
ignoring
path.
me. I feel very ignored in this relationship.
I'm sorry, baby. You know I didn't mean it.
Go down your rabbit trail.
Oh, no. Are you done saying what you need?
Yeah, I'm done. Everybody listening heard it. You're just on to Tron and have you couldn't even repeat what I just said.
What was that? Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm listening.
That's good. Okay, this is a little peculiar.
Okay.
So in Christendom kind of land, you get your Bible, 66 books in the Bible, 39 New Testament, however many in the Old Testament that equals 66. Okay. And then there's apocryphal books, which are not included in the Bible, that were deemed to not fit with the rest of the scripture.
Yeah.
One being the Gospel of Thomas.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was doing my research, and up came this thing in the Gospel of Thomas where Jesus said, "Blessed is he who was born before he came into being. If you become disciples to me and listen to my words, these stones will minister to you. For you have 5 trees in paradise which do not change, either in summer or winter, and their leaves do not fall." The 5 trees of paradise. Have you ever heard of such a thing?
I don't think so.
The first time I've ever heard of the 5 trees of paradise. I was trying to think.
5 trees of paradise.
If I've got 5 trees of paradise. Sorry for those of you who enjoy the Gospel of Thomas. This is the day the canceling day.
Cancel culture kicks in.
And so, no, I was just interested to think about these 5 trees. These 5 trees.
Knock-On-Wood. What's the point of the 5 trees?
I don't know.
Everyone gets 5 trees? That's just work. You got to keep the upkeep of watering these trees.
It was the research of knocking on wood.
Fruits on the trees?
5 trees.
Why do I want 5?
I wasn't there.
Paradise? That's not paradise at all. Are they palm trees? That sounds like paradise. 5 palm trees.
Well, I'm working on some, like, one's a pear. Yeah,
you need an even number of trees to hang hammocks in paradise.
Well, that's not a tree. You could just hang 4 hammocks.
Oh, fair enough. They don't have to be separate.
Or if they're set up in some sort of 5 situation,
you can make a circle of hammocks. You could layer them.
You could layer higher.
Bunk beds.
So you could actually have like 20 hammocks.
All right, fine. I'll tell you a funny thing about, you said 39 books of the Old Testament and however many's in the New to make up 66. Somebody gave me a little trick when I was a kid of how to, you're going to love this, of how to remember how many books of the Bible there are in the Old Testament and the New Testament.
Do you remember in Tron?
Exactly.
Okay, sorry, continue.
So you said 39. For whatever reason, that number has stuck for you.
Okay.
So this is one way to remember it. The words Old Testament, the word old has 3 letters.
No.
Testament has 9 letters.
That's crazy.
So the New Testament, the first word has 3, the second word has 9, and if 3 times 9 is 27.
How am I supposed to still know which one is which?
Exactly. It's a great little trick.
I think I should just memorize.
So you know the 2 numbers.
Old Testament's thicker, so it's got more books in it.
There you go. It's older, so therefore.
Well, knock on wood, we should probably actually figure out where this this little gem came from.
Well, okay, let's get into the real deal then.
I said some words, where'd they go? Where'd they go? No one can know. I turned around and looked behind. Those words came from another mind. Origin.
I was going to beatbox along to that, and I realized how fast that tempo actually is. I
It's like a Johnny Cash. It's like a Johnny Cash song. Ding, 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 ding.
All right. Origins. Okay, so this is where we're going to struggle a little bit because there is some fun origins, but it's not it's not long. And usually I try and dig in and find some
Our good friend reappears.
fake ones. Our good friend?
Our good friend. Yeah, you will recognize when he appears.
Well, I don't know if he's
Say
appearing.
his name 3 times.
Oh, no. So the origin of the custom, maybe, there's a lot of maybes, but they seem pretty legitimate, come from Celtic or Germanic folklore, wherein supernatural beings are thought to live in trees. And you see that in a lot of animated shows and whatnot, fairies and
It's called the Dryad.
Yeah, Dryad. So I had, where is it here? Well, let's get into it. Supernatural beings are thought to live in trees. It can be invoked for protection. One explanation states that the tradition derived from the pagans who thought that trees were the homes of fairies, spirits, and dryads. Not the triads.
No,
That's different.
Only if there's 3.
What are the dryads? They just avoid water?
Yeah, it's more like a bramble. Like a tumbleweed.
Is it actually?
No.
I was laughing, and then I'm like, oh, wait, are you actually answering?
I actually, okay,
But there's many mystical creatures.
So a dryad, I believe dry, and I'm not even messing with you, Greek is, I think it's an oak tree. A
Here you go.
dryad.
It's a tree nymph or a tree spirit from Greek mythology.
If a tree spirit falls in the woods and no one is there, does anyone hear?
Does anyone care?
Does anyone care?
Have you seen Tron?
How would I know?
Okay, so all these mystical creatures live in the woods. In these instances, people might knock on or touch wood to request good luck. So, well, okay, I was going to jump ahead. Or to distract spirits with evil intentions. When in need of a favor or some good luck, one politely mentioned this wish to a tree and then touched the bark, representing the first knock. The second knock was to say thank you. So that's why I was asking if you knew to do 2.
Do you know what I do to distract tree spirits? I say, have you seen Tron?
That's... No, you're not trying to distract the tree spirits. You want the tree spirits.
Oh.
Anyway, the first knock is the wish. Second knock is thank you. So it's really quick. There's only 2. One? No, there's only 2.
See, I knew there wasn't 3.
Yeah, I know. That's why I thought maybe you were in the know.
3 is like clearly.
Let
me in, Dryad.
The knocking was also supposed to prevent the evil spirits from hearing your speech. But if you only do 2, you better make your speech short. And as such, stop them from interfering. Alternatively, some traditions have it that by knocking on wood, you would awaken and release the benevolent wood fairies that dwelt there. So kind of the same thing.
I'm just going to get this out there. I need to get this off my chest. Pinocchio is a tree demon.
Okay.
Think about that. Okay, I said it. Disney, I said it. So he was a spirit living in a tree. Geppetto whittled him, and out came his... That's why he's a tree demon.
Huh.
Yeah. True story.
Not a tree fairy or a
No,
tree
no,
angel.
No.
He'd be sitting on the left shoulder.
Definitely.
Throw salt at Pinocchio.
I just think it's peculiar that a tree...
Pinocchio.
What do we say?
Peculiar. You said Pinocchio like this. Peculiar.
Oh.
Oh.
So yeah, if you think about this animated creature coming out of a tree
From wood.
Clearly that defines a dryad. Some sort
Fair
of
enough.
tree spirit, which is Pinocchio.
Yeah,
Pinocchio is a tree spirit.
Not for long.
I don't know. But then he became a real boy.
Yeah.
Made of wood.
Made of wood. But he became flesh and bone.
How did his nose grow?
It didn't anymore.
After he became a real boy, he lied and then his nose grew.
No, he lied while he was wooden.
Well, he laid down, but how did he lie if he was not alive?
How did he lie?
Yeah, how was he telling lies? If
He
he's
was
inanimate.
alive, but he was a wooden puppet. He was a marionette.
And when he became...
When he became a real boy at the end of the story, at the end of the movie...
you're at the end. I was
That's
considering
when
his realness while he was in dryad form.
No, through the whole dryad form, he's hoping
Fair
to become
enough.
a real boy.
Okay, I got you.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Okay, moving along. Another explanation link. I still haven't come across, unless you're talking about Pinocchio, still haven't come across any names. But another explanation links the practice to wooden crucifixes. Did you hear that?
I just don't like it.
I don't like it either. I've never heard that version, and they don't.
No, it's just
my
saying
research didn't give any details other than the 3 nails.
It's so
potentially.
It's so far-reaching that it's like, okay, we need to have something. What is the most religious thing that involves
You think they're
wood?
just trying
How
to
about a cross?
Christianize it?
It doesn't seem good.
It doesn't have any background to it, that's for sure. More modern theory from folklore research suggests that it derives from a form of tag called Tiggy Touchwood. Have you heard this game? I had to look it up. I'm like, I've never heard of Tiggy Touchwood.
Could you imagine the sacrilege of like knocking on a cross like that? Like,
oh, I didn't take it as like
knock on wood,
knock on a crucifix. I thought it was representative of the hammering of nails in the cross.
Oh, that would be a knock, knock, knock then.
That's why I said 3. Yeah.
Well, this makes no sense.
No.
Well, clearly it's a balderdash.
Yeah, it's balderdash. Tiggy Touchwood, a game of tag, which they use trees sort of as home base, and you're safe if you're touching the trees. And so
Home Free the Bunch.
What?
Do you remember Home Free the Bunch?
No.
Oh, you could if you could get back to home base before the taggee got back, you could set everyone free with Home Free the Bunch.
Oh.
Superstitious, I guess.
Or just a game.
Or just a game with the rules.
I think there's a paintball version of that.
Home Free the Bunch?
Yeah.
It's kind of capture the flaggy, but you can release everybody, the medic.
Kind of capture the flaggy game of taggy.
You should be a rapper.
I can't even beatbox to our Origin song. So that was it for Origins. What name are you referring to?
Well, there was another one.
I think Tiggy Touchwood would be a great rap name, though.
Tiggy Lil
MC Tiggy Touchwood.
Lil Tiggy.
Lil Tiggy.
Yeah, you gotta have that. Apparently that's the thing. Gotta have Lil.
Which after the second album just
so the British version Touchwood
Lil Tizzle
predates the American Knock on Wood. Touchwood predates Knock on Wood. Dates early, at least the early 17th century when it is quoted by John Haywood.
In his book of Proverbs or whatever it's called.
Yes. Yeah. Good old John Haywood. His name just keeps reappearing.
So I actually don't have anything written down about its first time in print. That must have been it when he was jotting it all down. He got a lot of credit for just putting to paper what people were saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was his thing.
Good for him.
Way to go.
John Haywood. Knock on Haywood.
Knock on John Haywood. So anyways, that was the whole idea of Pinocchio being a tree demon. I still think there's something there because it's not normal to whittle a puppet and have it come alive, is all I'm saying.
No, it isn't. But I will never whittle a puppet just in case.
Well, when I think of
I couldn't handle that. Something you're working on. If you made anything.
Like a Chucky doll?
Play-Doh and it comes to life. Anything. I don't want anything to come to life.
Where does
coming to life?
Where does it become magical like Frosty versus Chucky?
No. Think about Frosty. Like you're telling me.
Happy birthday!
That's a really fun movie. It's a really fun story, really fun song. But if that happened in real life, you were screaming and running away.
Happy birthday!
You like terror.
If he puts his eyes in and he frowns, he's like, happy birthday. Sorry, I think I blew out a lung there. I severed a vocal cord.
Well, you recover. I will throw some similar traditions from around the world. There's a lot of them. I won't go into all of them, but this was fun just to back up my 3 knocking. In Brazil and Portugal, bater na madeira means knock on wood. And it's something that is actually done physically. 3 knocks are required after giving an example of a bad thing eventually happening. So no verbalization. If you talk about, like, if you're pessimistic, just to cancel out. It's to cancel out the speaking of something into existence. So like, oh yeah, I'll probably crash on the way home. Canceled. Cancel culture.
Wow. So that's all it needs.
In Brazil and Portugal. And the rest,
maybe we're just lazy.
Even though the rest vary a little bit about why to knock on wood, they all have the same sort of superstitious reason for kind of attracting good luck. In Bulgaria, it's a little bit interesting because there's a common tongue-in-cheek practice to knock on one's head. Like you said, knocking on wood is often followed by lightly pulling one's earlobe with the same hand. in Bulgaria. So
Like Carol Burnett?
yeah, knock, knock, tug, tug, tuggy, taggy. Anyway, yeah. So I mean, there's more than a dozen countries here that knock on wood with some superstitious reasoning behind it.
Well, of course, this idiom would be like totally nonsensical to explain to someone who's non-English first language.
Going back to the salt over the left shoulder in where was it? In Sweden, a common expression is pepper, pepper, touch wood, and you throw pepper over your shoulder while touching a wooden object.
Is it to make the demon sneeze or something? Blow him right off your shoulder?
You do nothing to me. I'm a slug. Yeah. So anyway,
I don't know exactly how it works. All I know is it doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but that's okay. A lot of things don't make a lot of sense to me. It's good as long as someone's throwing something on their shoulder. Oh man, I mean to tell you.
Okay.
It just got me thinking about food. As soon as it said pepper, and then it all jumped into my head. I made a brisket over the weekend.
A brisket. Remind me what a brisket even is.
Okay, a brisket is like the like your front kind of pec arm type muscle in a cow.
Did it come to life? Is this something you carved and it came
to life in my mouth.
Oh.
So we smoked a brisket.
Smorg.
So now lockdown is reduced in our area, or we're allowed more freedom depending on the language of it.
Opened up a little bit.
Opening up a bit. So immediately weekend one was have a couple friends over, smoke some brisket, cooked it for like 14 and a half hours. It was
You know what
so
the hardest
fun.
part about smoking brisket is?
That's what I said.
Did you?
Of course. How do you not smoke a brisket and not do a zigzag joke? It's like I was drawing on this brisket, like to get it smoking.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure I could have started a jet engine with how much I was drawing on this.
So it turned out well.
It's so fun. It has nothing to do with anything. I was excited to tell you.
How long does it take to smoke a brisket?
Well, it took me 14 and a half hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I started it the night before. Like I stayed up till midnight to cook it through the night into the next afternoon so I could let it rest for dinner time.
Wow.
Yeah.
3 hours.
It was so good. So anyways, it has nothing to do with anything.
Now I feel extra bad for declining the invitation.
But it was pepper.
Oh, wait. I didn't get the invitation. Finally, you can have
Have you seen Tron? Oh, man.
You're a jerk.
We're out of time. We got to go.
Oh.
Let's get into this.
Okay. Well,
let's.
Bad things are happening here. I'm going to close that.
No problem.
Okay, let's get into a little game we like to play. Whoa, I got it. Riddling is a game we like to play, which is a two-part trivia-based question that requires a two-part but overlapping answer. And I think you're going to like this. I'll give you an example from last week. Last week's episode was called Brass Tacks. And we left this one hanging. We had our good friend, the Russian Bear, with us. This copper zinc alloy idiom means getting to the important stuff when dealing with amphibians, also known as the Mexican walking fish. And you know who's back? Dang Alano.
Dang!
Came up with the right answer. Woo! Welcome back. He took a little break, I think, and he got the right answer. Was brass taxolotl. So brass tacks and axolotl. Your answer is brass taxolotl.
That one stumped me. I couldn't get it off the top of my head.
So I've got a couple for today.
Dang!
Hopefully you've got a couple for today.
Well, I do have a couple. Let me go first here. You have to expand your thinking.
Oh, great.
This aluminum-free ladies deodorant.
Okay.
Contains tree spirits.
Contains tree spirits.
Mm-hmm. The tree spirit part is my only part that I hope you'll get, and that'll help you with the first part. Tree spirit.
I can't think of it's
not a try.
It's something dry, right?
Yeah.
Secret dry, like what is it called? Soft and dry.
Yeah.
Is it soft and dry?
It's soft and dryad.
Soft and dryad. Okay. I couldn't think of the deodorant.
I needed a dry and went soft and dry, and then I looked it up. It contains no aluminum. I'm like, do deodorants contain aluminum?
No, antiperspirants do.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yeah. So a lot of people, it's a whole thing. Like people freak out.
Anyways.
Don't use antiperspirant. It uses. So there are ones out there, but
I'm like spraying aluminum into my armpit.
Yeah.
All right.
But well, if it's a spray, it's probably not got aluminum. I don't know. But if you don't use the ones with aluminum, you're gonna stink.
Fair enough. Let's go. Give me one.
Let me give you one. This good luck trick was for Walter Lance's laughing cartoon bird.
I'm going to go with Knock on Woody the Woodpecker.
That's it.
Oh, it's the only thing that could fit that was cartoony. I like it. Wow.
Give me another one.
All right. I got stalled out there staring at myself. Ready?
Yeah.
This marionette is a real boy for breaking up the Beatles.
Pinocchio, oh no!
Do you know what that one is?
That's like one of the originals.
That's one of our original ones, like
Wow.
decades plus ago.
That's the
Pinocchio,
one before
oh no.
we started our podcast. That was the example I'd always give people. For you want to know how to play Riddle Link?
Pinocchio Ono.
Nice.
I thought I'd roll it in for a little nostalgia for you.
That's beautiful. I got one more, but let's leave it for our illegitimate children.
Yeah.
You can let everybody know how they can get a hold of us.
You can reach out to us through our social media networks. We are on Instagram at the.village.idiom. You can email us thevillageidiompodcast at gmail.com, or whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter at 3 Minutes Gone.
Fantastic. All right. See if you can get this one. This superstitious way to not tempt fate in the forest is also a party game that poses a dilemma in the form of a question where you have to choose one.
That's a good one.
You get it?
Oh, I got it right away.
Nice.
That is 3 Minutes Gone.
Beauty.
Good job, Matt. Oh, that's a fun one.
I hope people get that one.
Yeah.
That was hard to word.
I liked
how
your
do I
clever
say
wording.
that?
It's very clever. You're a clever person.
Thank you.
Well, it's fun putting things together today. Here's hoping we don't get canceled this week. I'm Skitty.
I am Jurassic Clever Person Mark.
And these are the Village Idioms.
Last 3 minutes gone.